Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Here We Go. I am Chad, and today is our final day of my 5 tips to finding low-cost airfares. And I like to call this tip my jump the ship from the trip tip. So if that sounds like fun to you, hit that like button down there. Also subscribe, and we're going to get right into it. Here we go. All right, so our tip number 5 today, jump the ship from the trip. So what exactly does that mean? So basically what we're doing in this one is, just for instance, let's say you want to fly from LA to Houston, right? Well, sometimes Houston's pretty expensive to actually fly into, but it is a hub, at least for United, for at least one major airline. But so basically what you're doing is you're finding a flight from LA to Houston, but you're actually purchasing a flight from LA to New Orleans or LA to Miami or Florida, something like that. Doesn't matter what the other city is. You're buying a ticket to another city, but the flight goes through Houston first. There's a layover in Houston. So what you're doing is you're buying the flight. You leave from LA and you buy the flight from LA to Miami. Well, when you're in Houston, that's your destination. You just get off the flight. So a lot of times that flight from LA, if you bought that flight direct from LA to Houston, that flight, just say one way, might be $400. But that same flight from LA to Miami that goes through Houston might be $183, $150. You can save money a lot of times going through a city and just getting off. Big key for this, you cannot check a bag. I also will say that airlines don't love it when you do this. They can't stop you from doing it, but they definitely don't, obviously they don't like it. I wouldn't do it a lot, but when you do, you can take advantage of them. I would especially not do them that often, especially if you're like a high frequent flyer of an airline. I haven't found, but I've heard that sometimes if you don't finish the flight, you don't get your qualifying miles for the flight because you didn't technically finish the flight, so you don't get the miles. A lot of times you save, one, two, three, however much $100. So, it's worth not getting the miles. I've done this many times. I haven't had that happen to me, but I've heard people that happening too, where they didn't actually get the. So that's basically what it is. Let's go. We can go ahead and get into some examples here. We're going to start with Google Flights, and we're going to go over to Europe, and we are going to go to Lisbon, which I have never been to, but I really want to go there. So that's where we're going to go. That date's fine. So we're just going to check one way from New York just to see what it costs. We can get there for $352 with 2 stops through Frankfurt and Madrid. That's not great, but yeah, whatever. 16 hours, 30 hours, that's a really long time. And then we can go nonstop for $741 on Tap Air. But it is nonstop. So that is where we're trying to get. But let's see if we can get any better than that. So the website that we're going to use here, it's called Skiplagged. All right. And I mean, basically this website, it does exactly what, I described earlier. And it finds those flights that go through the city you're actually looking to get to that might have a cheaper flight if you actually buy it to a different destination. We're going to go from New York to Lisbon on the 10th, and we'll see what we can find here. Awesome. Oh, this is a good one. So we can get from Newark to Lisbon. So we actually would buy a ticket from Newark to Amsterdam, all right, that goes through Lisbon, and it's $78. All right. And actually, if you look here, so this is on Tap Air, 755 gets in at 741. 750. It's this is the exact same flight on the exact same airline that if we just purchase direct from Newark to Portugal to Lisbon, it's $741. But if we buy a ticket from the same destination or same place to Amsterdam, a different destination, and it has a layover in Lisbon, it's $78. I mean, right? So, I mean, that's just a great example right there of how much you can save using this technique. One thing I will say about using skip lag, 85, maybe 90% of the time, it finds the best price for you. However, I have noticed there is a few times it does miss some. If you do a little extra research, sometimes you can find it. I'm going to give you a quick example of that, just to show you what I would do. Um, you know, Once I found a flight, or if I want to do a little bit more research, see if I can find anything cheaper. We're going to go from Washington, and then we're going to go to Istanbul. All right. Awesome city, by the way. Fantastic. Loved it there. All right. So if we were just to go search on Google here, same thing, and fly from Washington to Istanbul, $658, one stop, 20 hours. Or if we want to go nonstop, Turkish Airways, they are based there. Again, this whole thing works on major cities that airlines are based in for the most part. So Turkish Airlines is based there. It's $1,220 if you wanted to go there one way direct. But so let's go ahead. We're going to go over to skip lagged again, and we're going to do one way. And we'll put in Istanbul here. Same date on the 1st. So here you go. Istanbul for, what do they got? 416, 500. Okay, so yeah, so we're looking around 400. They're not really finding what we're looking for here, but we do know based on this that Turkish Airways is based in Istanbul. So we can actually go over to turkishairlines.com. So this is where sometimes you just have to do a little bit of research if you're flying, if you want to try to find a better deal. So you just got to kind of start putting in cities. So sometimes you want to work with cities sort of close. So, I mean, we could put in like, find major, like Vienna isn't too far. So we could put in Vienna right there. And then we want to use the same dates, and we'll see what that comes up with. And this you just kind of have to kind of work with it a little bit. 735, not too bad. I mean, this one, they did find one 416, but that is 3 stops. And that's a lot. 2 days worth, 3 stops. I don't know. Okay, because the original one is 1,220. So we actually still beat that with that one. But I mean, we can do better than that. Let's do London. Obviously, it's a major city. No, most of the time it's probably going to go through Istanbul because that's where they're based. So that's the whole premise. Okay, 918, 686. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're already at 686, and it goes Washington to Istanbul. Yeah, for 686. It has a couple other layovers, but we don't care about those. For 686, we can get to Istanbul, and we just purchased the ticket to London. But we can do even better here. So again, this is kind of where you got to do some work. Let's do Paris, major city. Sweet. Okay, so right here, first one, Washington to Istanbul to Paris, $592. I mean, it's still a lot one way, but it's all the way to Istanbul. So I mean, it's quite the trip. But this is a great example right here. So if we just purchase that same flight at 1040, that gets in at 950 is $1,220 if we purchased it directly. But here we can go and we can purchase a ticket to Paris, and that flight is $592. So right there, you're automatically saving over $600 again. Just by purchasing another ticket to a different city, and then you just get off in Istanbul. Another great example right there. So on this one, like I said, skip lag, they'll find like 90% of them. If you really are looking to save and you have some time, you can do this. And I mean, you would just start going through different cities. I mean, you could pick, if you're doing Europe, you just start picking cities around it and just kind of work your way out and see what you can find. Um, and that's kind of what it's all about. All right, so yeah, that wraps up the our final tip for you. Tip number 5, our jump ship from the trip tip. Just remember, when you head over to Skip Lag, you know, like I said, they'll find 90% of them for you. But if you do decide to go ahead and use this technique, remember you cannot check a bag. That's key. Also, if you do decide to use it, if you are flying a bunch, you know, maybe not a whole lot on just one airline. Other than that, that's pretty much it for it, and for the series. So hope you guys like the whole series. Um, you know, we'll probably be doing some more series like this. Obviously, we're not traveling a whole bunch right now with the whole situation. But we'd like to, you know, if you guys have ideas about other episodes that you'd like to see, whether it's flight related, hotel related, travel related, or maybe just information on a specific country, odds are, you know, Kevin and I have probably been to that country for the most part. Between the two of us, we've been to quite a few. So yeah, let us know in the comment section, and yeah, we'll be making more episodes like this. Also, you know, guys, share this with some people. You know, start getting it out there for us. We'd really appreciate it. So hope you guys liked everything, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, so jump the trip shit.